successful as the vet. Do you remember in Peter David Small? So when the children were watching it, I imagine the children were saying, you know, that's not a doctor, that's the vet. But simply because your children are, well, I think with everyone as well. So I think that was a very strange, although no one has ever failed with Doctor Who. No one has ever failed. Remotely. Even, no one. Even the boy who did the film, didn't he? I forgot what his name was. Yes. So, you know, although it's been so important to me, you know, people say, do you miss doing Doctor Who? In a sense, because of the devotion of fans like you know, here today, are the proof. I have never stopped being Doctor Who because, and the fans don't want me to stop being Doctor Who. And when I go on the stage, which I do occasionally, I realise, whatever I'm doing, or whatever, that people want me to do it in the style of Doctor Who, which is, you know, my silly style of Doctor Who, which means that when I played Sherlock Holmes in Ireland, it caused an absolute sensation. Of course it did, you know, because, first of all, Sherlock Holmes never wore a long scarf. And certainly didn't walk the way I apparently walked. This is the days when I could walk. And so, but that's what the fans want, because the bonding of fans, here I am, 30 years after the event. Most of you here weren't even born 30 years ago, were you? Is there anyone here over 30? I don't believe it. That's just kind of, you know, teasing me. So it's wonderful that, isn't it, that the power of fiction, that fiction can become such an important part in our lives. A fantasy world, you know, like a fantasy world of literature, of television, of films, of stamps, whatever it is you're interested in. And for some people, fantasy, by fantasy I mean unprovable word, perhaps a religion even. You know, people believe all sorts of preposterous things, don't they? Absolutely believe it, emphatically. I mean, when I was a child, I couldn't get over the fact that God was everywhere. I just couldn't get over. That's why Roman Catholics, my generation, are often very uptight. Because not only is God everywhere, which makes you a bit shy, you know, getting into your pajamas. Putting the light out, I said, God, I couldn't see in the dark. And then, you know, not only that, so you've got God everywhere. My mother kept hammering, God's watching you. And looking around like that. But I never saw him. But anyway, not only that, we had a guardian angel on your right shoulder. That's the Roman Catholic doctrine years ago. So what, with God seeing you everywhere, trying to get your pajamas on modestly, or not to make too much noise in the bathroom, whatever, it's simply terrifying. Because it makes you so nervous, you know? And so going to do a poo was an absolute nightmare. Well into my 30s. It's just after I stopped sitting on my mother's knee. But you know, I was doing that when I was in my 30s. She had tremendous thighs. But that's those sort of things we can believe anything, and they're all in a sense escape routes, you know. What pleases us and makes us laugh or makes us weep, like the music we listen to or when we gather together. What is so lovely about being a fan, everyone's a fan of something, is that we love being all together for the same reason. Rather, I think that may be more important than the appearance, you know, of the people we admire or thought were lucky or thought were talented, but we go along with them because they're bonded together. You can feel that here. There's no enmity between us. All agree about everything. But it's nice being here. And it's better being here than being somewhere else, even if it's Tom Baker out there talking about the good. And fighting in case he falls over. We all agree about that.